Welcome, welcome, ladies. I'm Coach Clemens. I am so glad you're here uh, to join me on episode 7 of our series, Look and Feel Younger than your age, body, mind, and soul, for women 50 plus. So, let me ask you something. Have you ever felt like your body is working against you? Especially after 50. You feel tired, moody, bloated, frustrated. You don't feel pretty anymore. What if I told you your hormones are not the enemy? They are messengers. And when you learn to listen to what they're saying, you can work with them instead of against them. So today I will be talking about what's happening with your hormones. I'm not going to talk about all of the hormones, but I'm going to talk about 4 of them, the main ones. What happens with cortisol? Cortisol gets a bad name, but it's the stress hormone. It's not bad. We need it. We need the stress, but we need to have it under control. If we have elevated cortisol levels, we get belly fat, sleep issues, and mood swings. And chronic stress keeps cortisol high. So, welcome to the world. The world is stressful. So, we can actually reset. And I'm going to give you some tips to reset the cortisol level if it's high. Now, before that, I'm going to tell you when cortisol stays high, especially for women over 50, it leads to stubborn belly fat that you can't get rid of, anxiety, sleep disruption, and even memory issues. I remember when I was growing up, a size 6, my waist was 26, and when I reached menopause, I didn't gain that much weight until I got close to 50. But I noticed there was a redistribution of my fat area. Now my butt was smaller, but my waist got bigger. So that is cortisol going high. So the key is not to eliminate cortisol. We need cortisol. Cortisol allows us to get up in the morning and have the energy to run if we need to. If somebody's after us or a bear or something, we need it. But we need to regulate it properly. So let me give you some tips to reset or lower your cortisol level. One of them is deep breathing. If you just do 2 to 3 minutes a day of this, and this is what I mean by deep breathing. You inhale for 4 seconds, you hold inside 7 seconds, and then you slowly exhale through your mouth for 8 minutes. So inhale 4 seconds and seconds. Inhale 4 seconds, hold 7 seconds, and exhale for 8. It has proven that it lowers cortisol, and it also activates your and calms your nervous system. And that is important. Another one that I practice is worship and gratitude. Singing or simply being in God's presence resets your stress level and your stress response and reminds your brain that you are safe and loved. I write on a gratitude journal, and every single day I write down reasons that I'm grateful for. Every day, different things. I can think a list of 3, but I try to write more. Listen to worship music or sing. And by the way, in my YouTube channel, I have 3 playlists. One is wellness, the other was relationships, and the third one is Life's a Song. I'll tell you a story of one of the songs that the Lord gave me. I'm a singer-songwriter, and I perform it. So I just uploaded a new one on Wednesday. So go check it out. You can learn it and worship the Lord with any music, but you can listen to mine if you would like to. Another thing that helps with cortisol is magnesium. Magnesium is a mineral that is often depleted when we are under stress conditions. Remember, stress, high cortisol. So magnesium helps calm the nervous system. That's why it's good to, it supports sleep to take it at night. And it balances cortisol. You can send me a note, a comment, and I can send you a link of the ones I take. I take one called calcium magnesium, and I sleep like a baby. And the next one for cortisol, sleep. And you will find a thread in all of the hormones. They get better when you sleep. We're talking about good quality sleep. Sleep that when you wake up in the morning, you feel rested. Not because you stay in bed for 8 hours. That doesn't mean you get good quality sleep. Your body heals stress while you sleep. Your body does all kinds of things when you sleep. And by the way, in the description of the comment in the channel, you will see a link where you can download my ebook called Why is Good Quality Sleep So Essential to Our Well-Being? And I'll go in detail what happens when we sleep and what happens when we don't. We should aim for 7 to 10 hours, 7 to 9 of quality rest. And to do that, a quick tip, no screens, phones, tablets, TV, late at night, late in the day, and no caffeine, so you can sleep well. And this is something you may not know. The next tip for balancing cortisol, I call it slow mornings. Don't jump out of bed like it sends your mind and your body into an alert. The cortisol goes really high. So avoid jumping out of bed and checking your phone or doing something quickly. Create a peaceful morning routine. I stretch in bed for about 5 minutes, stretching my legs, and that helps me calm down. And then devotional, water with lemon, and light stretching in bed. That signals, believe it or not, that stretching and moving slowly in the morning signals to your brain that you're safe. Your hormones say, I'm safe, so the cortisol doesn't go up. I hope this helps you. The second hormone I wanted to talk to you about is insulin. They call it the blood sugar boss. I call it the fat hormone because insulin causes all kinds of problems. It's mainly insulin resistance. And you heard that. But let me tell you briefly what insulin resistance is. It's a condition where your body's cells stop responding effectively to insulin. And we need insulin because the hormone helps glucose that we eat, carbohydrate, sugar, from our bloodstream into the cells to be used for energy. So notice, we need that. What usually happens when somebody doesn't have insulin resistance is you eat food, especially carbohydrates or sugar, your blood sugar rises, your pancreas releases insulin. Insulin acts like a key to unlock your cells so glucose can enter the cells for energy. Then blood sugar levels return to normal. That is a healthy pancreas. But what happens with insulin resistance? Your cells ignore insulin signals. So glucose cannot enter easily so that they don't have energy. And so because that is happening, the body produces more insulin to compensate. But blood sugar stays high and insulin levels stay high too. And over time, what happens with this? Fatigue, weight gain, especially around the belly, like cortisol, cravings, especially carbs, brain fog, hormonal imbalance, and guess what? Eventually, prediabetes and type 2 diabetes. I want you to know that common triggers for insulin resistance is eating lots of sugar and refined carbs. I think sugar should have a toxic-like danger sign on every sugar packet. Another common trigger for insulin is chronic stress, lack of movement, poor sleep, and hormonal shift, which we have no control over that because it happens when we reach mid-40s and 50s. So how do we reset our insulin sensitivity to the normal range? One thing is this: eat protein and fiber at every meal, and also fat to slow digestion. See, when insulin is out of balance, especially in women over 50, it causes more than just weight gain. All the things that happen, we need to reset it. So, once again, tip, how do you eat? Protein, healthy fats, and fiber on every meal. It helps slow digestion and stabilizes blood sugar. Fiber, especially from vegetables, seeds, and legumes, helps prevent insulin spikes and keeps you full longer. The same with protein. So, how do you eat then? You can pair a meal like this, like grilled salmon, leafy greens, lentils or eggs, or avocado and sauteed spinach, something like that. So, how do you avoid sugar spikes? Skip processed foods. If you have any processed food, any box, there are ingredients that you can't pronounce, you shouldn't be eating it. That's what I say. Sweetened drinks and refined carbs like pasta and breads and so on. And sweeteners. I stay away from sugar. You can use a little bit of monk fruit in moderation, honey. So you have to make sure that avoid sugars, eat protein. One thing that you may not know, move after eating. See, a 10 to 15-minute walk after meals, and by the way, the people in Europe do that. Older people in Spain, Italy, they do for a walk after dinner. If you walk for 10 to 15 minutes after a meal, it improves blood sugar regulation and helps shuttle glucose into muscles instead of being stored as fat. So that's a trick, that's a tip. Another bonus that it has moving after a meal and aids digestion and reduces post-meal fatigue. Those are the 3 habits that you should do. You combine them, you can help your body respond to insulin more efficiently. But I'm going to mention 3 more things that you can do that. But get quality sleep again, manage stress, and magnesium. But we said about cortisol, it helps also with insulin. You can include magnesium-rich food with leafy greens, pumpkin seeds, and so on. So, number 3, estrogen. That's the feminine regulator, I call it. After 50, estrogen drops, leading to dry skin, anxiety, weight gain, and brain fog. We don't want that. But we don't need to fear because there are things that we can do, some tips to reset our estrogen level. And we know what happens when estrogen level gets low after 50. We accumulate fat around our belly, hot flashes, and forgetfulness, all these things. But it's not the enemy, it's telling you it's going low. So let's try to increase estrogen. Now, you can go to bioidentical hormones, and we can talk about that some other time. But one thing that you may not know is this. Cruciferous vegetables, what are those? Broccoli, kale, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage. They contain a compound called indole-3, carbinol, and sulforaphane. And look, these compounds help your liver process and eliminate excess or dirty estrogen. You heard about the phytoestrogens, and when you have a bottle of water that's plastic, it creates a estrogen-like compound that goes into your body. Well, these cruciferous vegetables help us get rid of those. They also protect against estrogen dominant symptoms like bloating and breast tenderness. So how do we do that? Include 1 or 2 cups daily. One day broccoli, the other kale, the other cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, and cabbage included. It's not just food, it's a cleanser for the bad estrogens in your body. Another one is incorporate flax seeds. Flax seeds are amazing. They are the superstar for hormonal balance. They contain lignans. They help balance estrogen levels, whether they are too high or too low. See how? They balance it. So flax seed should be in your house, but not just in your house. You should use it. It also supports gut health, which plays a major role in how estrogen is recycled in your body. So how do you use flax seeds? Try a tablespoon of freshly ground flax seed in smoothies, oatmeal or salads. Another one is healthy fats. So we are talking about cruciferous of vegetables, flax seeds, and healthy fats. Our bodies need fat to produce hormones. That's why if somebody's anorexic, they never get pregnant. They don't have hormones. Now, what are the good fats, the healthy fats? Avocados. I eat avocados every single day. Avocados, good fat. Olive oil, the good kind. Salmon, mackerel, all those omega-3 fish. Walnuts, chia seeds provide the raw material needed to support hormone production and communication between the cells. And the healthy fats also produce or reduce inflammation. We can disrupt hormonal signaling. So what's the next thing? Sleep. You see the common thread? It helps with lowering cortisol, it helps with insulin, and it helps with estrogen. Estrogen supports restful sleep, and good sleep supports estrogen production and detoxification. In perimenopause and menopausal women, poor sleep can worsen estrogen imbalance. Once again, get my ebook. Create a consistent bedtime routine, and I go in detail in the ebook on that. Avoid blue lights, TVs, computers, all that. 2 hours before you go to sleep. And try magnesium or herbal teas. I like chamomile or linden tea to support deep rest. The last hormone I'm going to be talking about today is the thyroid hormone. It's the metabolism master. And what happens after 50? Thyroid function can become sluggish. You become hypothyroid, especially for women. And this can result in fatigue, stubborn weight gain, guess where? Around the midsection. Brain fog, dry skin, thinning of hair, and cold hands and feet. And this is often overlooked or misdiagnosed. And the reason is this: because standard blood work does not go in detail. You'll only get the TSH, the thyroid stimulating hormone. And I talked to you about my program when I do my platinum program for 4 months. And I have 4 programs: silver, bronze, silver, gold, and platinum. But my platinum and gold include a blood work that I go into detail on all kinds of things. But one of them is not just the TSH, the thyroid stimulating hormone, but T3, T4, reverse T3, and thyroid antibodies, because sometimes you are within the normal range, but you're not in the optimal range. So it is important to check your blood work to see if your thyroid is not working properly. So another thing that you can do is eat selenium-rich foods, or you can use a pill. Selenium is essential for converting thyroid hormones to their active form and reducing autoimmune thyroid inflammation. Quickly, we need thyroid, the T3, 24/7. But when it's low and we need it, then the TSH, the thyroid stimulating hormone, sends the signal, produce thyroid. What does it produce? T4. Because the T4 one is like reserved, it converts into T3 as needed. But there's the T3, it may cancel the reverse T3. So that's why you need to have a blood work looking at all these things to detect Hashimoto or hypothyroid or underconversion. Because see, this is the problem. You may be producing T4, but you need T3. So are you converting the T4 to T3? Then you need to figure that out. So, selenium. What are the sources of selenium? Brazil nuts. I have it in my freezer, and I try to eat 2 Brazil nuts a day, 2 to 3 per day. Another thing is wild-caught salmon, eggs, sunflower seeds, and shiitake mushrooms. Those are selenium-rich foods. And another thing that people don't know about thyroid: avoid over-exercising. We don't have to tell many people that, but intense, long-duration workouts can actually suppress thyroid function and spike cortisol because it blocks conversion of T4 to T3. And remember, the body needs T3. So avoid over-exercising. Instead of doing intense long-duration workouts, focus on strength training, which I've been preaching a lot about, walking, Pilates, or just short sessions of high intensity a few times per week. And rest in between exercising is as important as movement. And the last, for the thyroid, support adrenal health. Your thyroid and adrenals are closely connected, and chronic stress can exhaust your adrenals, which in turn impacts thyroid hormone output and of course increases cortisol. See how I call it the hormonal symphony, because every hormone has to play the right note. Well, incorporate daily stress relief practices like deep breathing, worshiping, journaling, magnesium, and proper sleep to support both glands. So, supporting your thyroid isn't just about weight. It's about restoring energy, clarity, and joy from within. So if you're experiencing weight that won't budge, sleep struggle, mood swings, brain fog, low libido, it doesn't mean you're broken. It means that your body is asking for help. Hormones are messengers. Don't shoot the messenger. Support them. Your body is not fighting you. It's fighting for you. So, if I'm offering a 30-minute breakthrough session that we can go in and talk, and I'll find out what you're doing. But I have, as I said, my programs go from platinum to gold to silver, and we have programs that will help you. Some of them are extensive, including blood work and DNA testing and different things, but I have a simple one that is a self-paced course that you can do, but it's not on, I don't lead you on your own. I give you a 30-minute onboarding. I'll show you where things are in the portal and what you need to do and what questionnaires you need to fill out, because then I'll meet with you for 45 minutes for a lifestyle audit in which I go to the questionnaires. And then you can start the 4 weeks self-paced course. And at the end, when you finish, we meet again for 60 minutes. We go over what worked, and I'll give you a meal plan, and you can continue on your own, or you can join my Wellness Oasis Inner Circle for people that have done my program. And we meet once a month, and I do a teaching, and we're all on Zoom, and I cover material that I have been sending you. I send you, put on the portal, 4 wellness digests on a topic for the month, and I go into detail explaining a summary of all of those. We have a private Facebook group, and I post at least 5 times a week with recipes, ideas, Bible verses, and encouragement. And then I do a video recipe a month. So I hope you found this helpful. Send me a message if you want to meet with me for the 30-minute and 30-minute breakthrough session for free. And also I have, if you're watching in the YouTube channel, the links for the ebook on sleep, and also a checklist for hormonal balance. See you next Saturday. May God richly bless you. Bye-bye.